Did you know that without the Instagram algorithm in place, you would not see over 50% of the content posted by your favorite creators and closest friends on Instagram? At least that was the case in 2016 when the algorithm didn't exist. And considering there are so many more users since then and so much more content on the platform, this number is probably closer to 80%, meaning you would be missing 80% of the content posted by your closest friends and favorite creators that you want to see. And that is why the Instagram algorithm is in place, to be able to sort through this massive amount of content and show users content that they really want to see. So today we're going to be talking about the truth around the algorithm, bust a few misconceptions, and just all around have a chat about how you can faster grow your audience. Now, all of this information comes thanks to a blog article posted on the Instagram blog by Adam Mosseri himself, who, for those of you who don't know, is the CEO on Instagram, and it's titled Shedding More Light on How the Instagram Algorithm Works. Instagram, I should probably learn how to say that without stumbling. Now, I did make a video covering this article when it first came out, but I also wanted to delve into specific parts of this algorithm in a series of different videos, which you're going to see on the channel. If you want to see those future videos, then make sure you like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. But today, let's talk about the algorithm in general. Now, as tough as this news may be to hear, the Instagram algorithm is there to show users content they want to see. It is there to improve the experience we have on the app, even though I know I've seen millions of you, well, not quite millions, but hundreds, if not thousands of you in the comments complaining about the algorithm hurting your reach. I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but it is actually there to help. And it does this by showing people content that they really want to see, which is going to keep them on the platform for longer and make everyone happy. Users get to see better content, creators who are creating that content get way more views and engagement, Instagram can run more ads on the platform, businesses have got more ad space to advertise on, and everyone wins. And the way they do this is by using a ton of really fancy, intricate technology, such as algorithms, as we're talking about today, which allow Instagram to categorize all the content, find what people want, and put it in front of them. Now, one massive misconception people have about the Instagram algorithm is that it is just that, one algorithm that determines how your content performs. And that is simply not true. Instagram combine a variety of different algorithms, classifiers, and processes, each with their own purpose. For example, there is a specific algorithm that ranks stories and feed posts. And Instagram know that when it comes to this format of content, people prefer to see content from people they know, like, and trust. So in the feed and stories algorithm, this factor weighs heavily in the ranking of that content. How well has someone interacted with this person's account in the past? And based on that, they will rank stories and feed content. So if a friend of yours has just made a post and you like their last 30 posts in a row over the space of the last 2 years, Instagram are going to rank that piece of content really high, even if it's a horrendous post. Maybe it is them making a joke or posting a funny photo that wouldn't be deemed as quality content, but because you have engaged with that person so often, you will rank considerably higher. However, there is also a separate algorithm which ranks content for the Explore page, and this is quite the opposite. Instagram have found that on the Explore page, people don't care as much who has posted the content, they're more interested in the content itself. And the best way they can judge how interesting this content is by taking a look at how well people have engaged with it, liking, commenting, sharing, saving, and on videos, how long they actually watch it for. So unlike feed and stories, when it comes to ranking content on the Explore page, Instagram heavily weight the engagement the post has received, as well as what the actual content is about as to how well it ranks, and they're not as worried about who it's posted from, although if you can post some content that someone is really interested in and they have previously interacted with you, then it will help you in the long run. Now, the Reels algorithm is very similar to this too, prioritizing engagement and heavily pushing Reels that have got a high watch time percentage, and not necessarily based off who you follow and so on. So by now, you understand that there are multiple different algorithms on Instagram that each cater to different formats of content and act to provide the users with the most engaging content for that specific place that they are looking on Instagram. And because of this, I think it's worth specifically highlighting the fact that the same format of content, so say for example, an individual image posted into the feed can act differently in the feed and explore page because of these different algorithms. So for example, if you were to post a photo of just yourself as an individual image into your feed, chances are you would get a lot of engagement from the people who follow you, but probably not so much engagement from people who don't follow you. As we mentioned before, people were highly interested in the feed as to who made the post, not so much the content. And so if they see a photo of you, they follow you for you, they're more likely to engage. However, it probably won't hit the explore page and reach new people because again, they're more interested in the content on the explore page. So unless you're extremely attractive and you really show that off on Instagram, it's gonna be hard to reach a lot of new people just posting photos of yourself. On the flip side, by posting educational content or funny content or interesting content, you might get a lot less engagement from the people who follow you because they may follow you to see you, not necessarily the educational post about fitness that you're making a post about. However, this content will rank way better on the explore page and hashtags because there are going to be a ton of people who are interested in learning about fitness, or maybe you're posting about golf and they're really interested in learning about that. So you'll get a lot more engagement from people who don't follow you. And this is why often some of you, so coaches are a big sort of culprit of this, is you'll watch my videos, you'll hear me preaching, make interesting content, stop just posting random photos of yourself, educate your audience, all of these things. You start doing that and you start receiving less engagement because your followers aren't engaging as much. However, if you stick with it and you continuously post that, you will start working your way into the algorithm and you will start growing faster if you stick at that for a few weeks, a few months, and you'll start reaching new people, and then your growth will just take off. So your engagement may drop in the short term, but over the long term, you'll grow much faster. And this is why meme pages, motivational pages, or even like brand accounts like Barstool Sports, where the main content they post is simply reposted content, grow so fast. All of the content they're posting is designed to appeal to not only the people that follow them, but anyone interested in that niche. Someone posting motivational quotes is not only appealing to their followers, but everyone interested in motivational quotes. Or a meme page is not only creating content that only will be enjoyed by their followers, but also anyone on the platform can enjoy it. And that is why these pages grow so fast. Although, again, to come back and look at the reverse of that, as I've been trying to do throughout this video, they often don't build that personal rapport because they don't add their personal touch to it. So I would recommend adding some form of branding or your own personal touch to this content. This way, your content gets pushed out to a ton of new people who don't follow you and can come back to your page, but you also do a good job of branding yourself maybe to a specific niche. So you're posting funny videos in a certain niche, or maybe you add your own commentary, or maybe you just got a really strong brand. Like for example, the Instagram account @Wealth does really well at this because they've built a huge following by reposting 10, 20, 30 motivational pieces of content every single day, but they have a really short username, a one-word username. They've got a good logo. They've built the branding of their account well, and so it builds an audience with it. And this is why the likes of Trevor Wallace or Gary Vaynerchuk do so well on Instagram. They have a huge amount of content that is super interesting to people, even if the people don't follow them and don't know who they are, but they also add in a huge amount of themselves to the content so that people find them and then over time become a true fan that engages with everything they post. So this way they appeal both to non-followers and followers, and that's that sweet spot you want to get into. Now, the next part of the algorithm we're going to look at is hashtags. Now, this information isn't coming directly from an Instagram blog post, but I actually talked about this in a recent YouTube video, and this was supposedly leaked from an insider at Instagram, although we don't have confirmation of who they were. Now, this post came thanks to a guy called Lucas on Instagram. I'm not going to go over the entire post. I did that in the previous video that I posted about this, but we'll just summarize. If you have a small account that you're looking to grow, the best hashtag strategy you can use is use 8 highly targeted hashtags that really represent what your content and account is all about. Using only 8 hashtags rather than 30 will give the Instagram algorithm a clearer picture of what your content is all about, rather than confusing it with too many off-brand hashtags that you're just using to fill up all 30. This will then lead to Instagram having a better understanding of your content. They can then better pair up your content with the right users on Instagram, which should in theory lead to higher engagement percentages on your posts because these people are better targeted. And then with that additional engagement, Instagram will push your content out to more people. Now, after I posted that video about a week ago at the time of filming, I've had a huge amount of people reach out to me that have had small followings and have gone from getting 50 or 100 reach on hashtags to literally getting thousands of reach from hashtags. It's been crazy. However, I have noticed it on my own larger accounts and on some of the bigger accounts that did reach out to me. Once an account has got like over 100,000 followers, this strategy isn't any more effective than having all 30 hashtags. And I think the reason for that is because once you get to 100k followers, Instagram have got so much data on your account and who is interested in your content, who is engaging in it, and how long they are engaging with it, that you don't need to specifically talk to the algorithm that much because they've already got such a clear picture. However, with a small following and getting 10 or 50 or 100 likes per post, Instagram don't have as many data points, and so speaking to them with short, sharp hashtag sets is the way to go. Finally, before we wrap up this video, shadow banning and the algorithm. This is a hotly debated topic. Now, Instagram have always denied the idea that a shadow ban exists, which is when people believe that a penalty is placed on your account for doing some sort of action that goes against the Instagram guidelines. As mentioned, Instagram have always denied this. However, they have come out and said that if you post content against their guidelines, then it will restrict the reach of the content. This can sometimes be for a day, a week, a couple weeks. Some people have even had this go on for months, which is horrible. And there is so much evidence behind the idea of a shadow ban that I think we can all agree that it does exist, even if Instagram don't want to officially say it. They also have a whole list of topics where if you talk about these specific ones, usually it comes under massive health claims, massive financial claims, anti-vax content, lots of that stuff there, which I guess falls into the health claims. Then they are going to restrict the reach of your content. Also, if you post extremely sexual or extremely violent content, this will also fall under that category, which can then get shadow banned. Although I know for a fact many times in the past I've had friends who have been shadow banned wrongfully because their content was reported for, say, for example, sexual content when it wasn't sexual. For example, a friend of mine, Hebe, who is a fitness trainer and posts a ton of content based around that, had this happen where she got shadow banned for 2 weeks for posting, I believe, in a sports bra, and people reported it as sexual content or nudity or something along those lines. And for 2 weeks, her reach just dropped off a cliff and then came back. Anyway, let's take a look at what Instagram had to say about this, because in this recent article, Instagram said the reason behind the shadow ban theory is because Instagram have not been very transparent about reach in the past. So when people see a huge drop in reach, they are inclined to come up with a reasoning behind why this has happened. And they tend to fill in the gaps with thinking it's a shadow ban. Now, Instagram had this to say: we can't promise you that you'll consistently reach the same amount of people when you post. The truth is, most of your followers won't see what you share because most look at less than half of their feed on Instagram. Another thing worth mentioning is sometimes what can happen is you make a post that your audience doesn't engage with well, which lowers your ranking in the algorithm for future content. And then if this happens a few times in a row, like maybe you post 3 or 4 or 5 sponsored pieces of content that your audience don't really relate with, each time your reach of your next post decreases, and then all of a sudden, like, your reach has dropped in half, not necessarily because of a shadow ban, you just didn't post engaging content multiple times in a row, which led to your reach dropping. On the flip side, if you have a streak of great posts, your reach could double in the space of a week, because if you post 5 banging posts in a row that just get a huge amount of engagement, then your future content will get more and more and more reach. The best fix to this shadow ban, according to the CEO, Adam Mosseri, is to give things a rest for a few days. Don't post for 3, 4, maybe even 5 days, and then come back with an awesome piece of content that you know your audience will engage with. This is especially true on stories. If you let your stories expire, wait 24 hours, come back with an engaging story, like a story poll, a story question, you'll get crazy reach. Just trust. Actually, don't trust me.
Maybe take a break for a day or two, give people some space, and then start again and try some new things. See if maybe your audience is interested in a different story or a different type of story that you have to tell.
Just go and do it, and then let me know down below how it worked. This gives your audience a chance to miss you and then engage with you a ton and push your content up through the algorithm. And that pretty much wraps up a ton of information about the Instagram algorithm. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you like and subscribe. Now, before we go, if you want to learn more about growing a profitable Instagram following, growing and monetizing it, then you should definitely go ahead and grab my Instagram playbook and crash course, linked in the top of the description for just $9. We will learn more in-depth strategies that will help you do exactly that. That's it from me. Hope the video helped, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next video sometime soon.